All right, good morning. So I just made a video giving the long background of what led to the publication of this version of Time Sports Simple Series. So I don't want to waste time having that conversation again, but the point is I went through my files and I found Time Sports Complete, which had been available for sale for about a month, I don't know, back in 2023 maybe. And then there had been a version of it on my Google Drive available free. That was up for about 6 months. And then when I rearranged and called and tried to tighten up all of my files on this drive, that was one of the files I deleted. I was like, I don't think we need this here. It's redundant. So I've found that file. So again, this is also a wonderful example of never say never. I said at the end of the last video that you would never see the Time Sports Complete PDF or book again, which is true. I'll never publish the book again. But I found the complete PDF files, and I thought I'll put them back up here so people have a chance to grab this, but also a chance to see what this is alluding to. So again, I originally began the concept of this book back in 2019, turning all the Time Sports games into the fastest, simplest possible, most portable way to carry them and play. And that meant that I wanted to use, instead of letter grades for ratings, A, B, C, D, E, F, I wanted to use math grades, so they would have a number rating. And instead of a matchup matrix, which slows the game down and forces you to constantly look up, offense, I have to look up on that chart. I wanted you to just be able to look and say, okay, who's next on the schedule? Oh, it's Los Angeles versus Buffalo. LA's offense is is 1, and whatever's defense is 0, so it's 1, and immediately that Los Angeles is in the 1 column for today's game. Okay. So here it is. You can grab it if you want it. Not the new game. The new Time Sports Simple Series is not available anywhere but paperback. But again, my goal is to always provide an opportunity for people to enjoy, something. So this is what was actually so basically what happened was I got to the pre-publication phase of proofing and editing, and had this moment where I said, I need to stick with the letter grades. It's just going to mess people up. And boom, literally dropped it and rewrote it using a letter grade system. So you'll notice, again, the table of contents from the last video, the new book, the table of contents, the whole layout of the book didn't change. All that changed was the rules, the charts, and the actual sports rules. So you can see that it has a universal team creation. No matter what sport you're playing, you have to create ratings for all the attributes for teams in that sport. And then when you get to the off season, you use their current attribute to see how the teams change as they go through the off season. But they're universal. Instead of like Time Sports has original team creation rules and original off season rules for each sport. Big Country Time Sports, every game has its own creation rules and its own off season rules. The goal of this was to standardize the creation and the off season charts for all of the sports games. So I think that makes sense. Why would you make a third? Well, because I was trying to make everything standardized and easy and portable. Okay. And then you have your matchup chart, which is standardized, which if you play the Big Country sports games, you're going to see that these matrix charts aren't all the same. So football times matrix matchups aren't the same as, say, basketball's matrix. Some of the sports, they might be the same, but in many of the sports, these matchup matrix are also unique. So I standardized the creation charts, I standardized the off-season charts, and I standardized the matchup matrix for all the sports. And then, of course, I tell you what you match up before each game. And then we have, each page has a one paragraph of how you play this game, and then the scoring chart, and then the what's called the special chart that occurs because of something on this chart. That's it. That's baseball. Then basketball has its own page. Boxing has its own page. So for those of you who either purchased this paperback when it was available and I mean briefly. It might have been 3 weeks that I was selling this book. And then eventually, like I said, during we try to put up versions of games that were no longer in print, or versions of games that we just want people to be able to play and get relatively cheap. This was up probably 6 months in 2024 or 2025. It was up maybe 6 months on the Google Drive, so you could grab it. And so I've just put it back up for those who want to see. So again, there's no need to buy this. I mean, if you own your favorite version, if you own Time Sports, again, for me, that's probably my favorite. And I've said it before, that every version of the games in that book's probably my favorite book. It's probably my favorite versions. Obviously, they're not the advanced versions. So when I say favorite, it's like they're the perfect balance between sophisticated but not overly cumbersome. The Big Country games are just richer as far as depth and details. So they're just a more advanced option. And then this was literally meant to be reportable fast. You could play careers quickly. I'm going to share what I'm doing with a 2014 football league. In this, when my book comes, I'll share kind of what's going on in that. Anyway, long story short, this uses also the great thing about this version, because I did say, wait a minute, if I go to math, it confuses people, but more importantly, the math grades aren't going to be compatible with this. So the great thing about this original Time Sports Complete was all of the time teams in your leagues or in Rodney's history tomes can be used on any of the time games. So you can use your 1976 Tampa Bay Buccaneers replay in Football Time Complete, or Football Time Definitive, or Big Country Football Time, or Time Sports Football Time, or This Football Time, because it uses letter grades. So they're all 100% compatible. You could play your baseball teams across all multiple versions, right? This math version does not allow that, right? So just know that. And again, I always design and create games that I want to play. My goal then is I want to own them in the best possible, most professional format. And then my goal is, well, if I want to put it on and make it for myself, I also like to make it available for people to purchase because they might want it. And so this exists because I ordered a copy for myself. So I make it available for those to sell. So when people say, why do your books come and go? Well, because they're pretty much put up for sale. Because I put them on Lulu to get them for myself. And I make them available for a short time for people to also own, because there are people out there who just they may want to play what I'm playing, right? And so I try to make them available at a decent price for people to play. And then of course I have my quintessentials that are there that never go away. Big Country, Time Sports will never go away. And they're my flagship games. And I talk about a game being flagship: Parallax Football, Big Country, Time Sports, Tally Ho, all of Dell's games. Those games aren't going to go out of print, so to speak. They're not going to be removed, right? Okay. So my point is it conceivable that Time Sports Simple Series will ever be pulled from print? Probably not, because it's what I intended originally. In 2019, my intent was to create this version of my Time Sports games. And that was the point. And ultimately, I compromised so this would be recognizable and compatible with what was currently published. And I compromised. And I've said it before, when you compromise, that means you really aren't doing what you should do or what you want to do. And that compromise led to me being dissatisfied with this product. It led to this being up for sale for a short time. It led to me personally not using this product. I do not use this product. Why? I would play Time Sports, or I'd play Big Country Time Sports. This product felt at that point, I thought, well, it's not what I wanted it to be, and it's redundant, and so I pulled it. But then I did put up a free version for people who might be interested in it, and there we are. This version, on the other hand, I since getting it finished and discovering it, I've been making leagues, and I've been starting careers, and it is what I'll be carrying when I'm out of town in the next month or so. I'll be traveling with this in my notebooks and my D6 in a simple laptop bag. So, which was the goal of this book. So, another video, long video about this. But anyway, the point is, I will put a link to this version. So people can grab this. And again, what this will do is this concept will give you a clue as to what this is. The difference is this uses the alphabet grades and is 100% compatible with all other Time Sports games in any iteration. This version uses the ratings, number system. These scoring charts and rules are, how do I say this? This version of, say, Basketball Time is compatible with Time Sports Basketball Time and Big Country Basketball Time, point generation-wise. This version is intended to stand alone as more of an NBA-style scoring system. So these charts are not the same. These scoring averages and how this bench works, the rules are different. So you can see what the concept is. But these rules, the scoring table and the bench table in this game are all different. The rules are different, the scoring tables are different, and the bench scoring tables are different. Boxing Time, the scoring tables are different, and the knockouts are different. The rules are the same. Football Time, the rules are slightly different, the scoring tables are different, and the comeback rules are different. Hockey Time, again, the rules are about the same. I think the rules are the same, but the scoring tables have changed and the goalie shootout have changed. Racing Time is completely different. So Racing Time is not only is it not using letter grades, it uses a different rule system, and uses a different scoring system and a different event chart. So I would argue this is what was always intended, using number ratings and given time since 2019. You gotta remember, it's now 2026. I have had many years of games and many years of playing and refining of my ideas, my concept, and my charts. In a way, why do I call this the quintessential? Because the charts and the rules here are that much, how do I say it, that much tighter for what I intend the experience to be. So despite it being the same concept of simple, every sport on one page, using fast play, right, that concept's all true. But the scoring charts and some of the rules have changed quite a bit. So is this worth owning? That's entirely up to you. But you can certainly now, again, you can certainly grab this, download it, and enjoy at least the portable, simple series fast play games. Again, how fast play are they? Well, when you have to do the matchup chart for every game you play, that's a step that is kind of cumbersome. This game, it's very simple. You add them up, and then you know immediately. So all I need to know, I just need to be on the page of the book that I'm playing, have my teams, a list in front of me, and I know that the the Los Angeles Clippers are a 0 offense, and I know the Milwaukee Bucks are a 0 defense. I know that the Clippers are using the 0 scoring column. It's simple math. I don't need a cross-reference chart, right? So here you have to always do this cross-reference thing, which is wonderful for the bigger games, the more sophisticated games. But for this idea that you were going to take this portable, plop down in a bus seat on a bus, get your book out with a Die-6 and a little notebook, and be able to just flip to the page of the game you want to play, roll your dice 3 or 4 times, and you got a score, and you move on to the next game. this was truly meant to be simple, fast, efficient gaming. And so I think I've achieved that with this version. This version's still a bit cumbersome. You still got to do the matchup matrix, right? Is that a big deal? Nah. Like I said, anyway, the point is, it is backup available free. So for those who are still interested in this concept and want to enjoy this idea, here it is for free. And at least it is 100% compatible with your time engine grade system. So you can use it with Rodney's. You can use it with Rodney's historical ratings. So again, I would recommend right here, Rodney's Time Sports. The entire history of professional baseball, basketball, football. You can use all of these teams in history with those charts, right? Unfortunately, this uses number ratings. So, but again, you can make teams in this on the fly. You can make teams subjectively very easily. You want to make the 1984 49ers? Well, use your common sense. They were the highest scoring team in football. What number do you think they had on offense? And the Chicago Bears were the number one defense. What number do you think they have for defense? You can subjectively invent the 49ers and the Bears like instantly. So anyway, all right. Bye-bye.